Hey, what's up, guys? This is our Challenge After Show. We are reviewing episode 6 of the Challenge USA on CBS. I will allow Dan to give us the episode title name because I actually don't know it. So, Dan, why don't you hit us with that? Because that's your favorite thing.
Episode 6, A Civil War. Oh boy.
Civil War. Okay, yeah, that's a little bit of fabrication. I mean, all right, maybe
Sure is.
coming back in from the elimination, I can sort of see it, but that was smoothed over kind of quickly. I mean, that didn't seem to be as dramatic as the episode continued, but we'll get into that. Overall thoughts are I loved this episode. And it's not just because Enzo gets to stay. We know that I have my favorites because I'm also heartbroken that Derek had to go home. But I will say, for the first time in a long time, I mean, the eliminations have been good, but this elimination actually caused me like anxiety and caused me to be on the edge of my seat. And I feel like it was the epitome of the ultimate sprint to the finish line, the ultimate dig deep, find it within yourself. And I played sports all my life, did lacrosse in college. So I feel like that really just resonated with me. Like to see everybody fighting so hard until the final whistle blew. It sounds so cliche and so corny, but that really excited me and gave me anxiety and stress watching it.
I feel like you and I were totally on different sides, rooting for different people. I was rooting for Derek, obviously, and I like Shannon too. I know you were rooting for Enzo to redeem himself because he went from a zero to a hero. I have to give him credit for that. He had the perfect tire building capabilities. So he made the right that was the biggest thing in that elimination was how you stack those tires. So he figured it
Yeah.
out. Good for him.
And again,
Derek had an awful strategy.
yeah. Well, they didn't think it through. And again, that's what happened with Aza and Cinco last week. You just have to take 5 minutes and just think of something. And I know that that's easier said than done because we're not there. We're not in that moment of adrenaline, lights, camera, in an elimination, fighting for your life in the show, fighting for money. So I don't want to sit on the couch and hate from outside the club and be like, how did you guys not think? How did you not? I don't know. Sometimes you black out for like a presentation or a work Zoom call. You know what I mean? It happens, but you have to try. You have to try to strategize and think of something before you go into a game. Shout out Dan's airport that he's in because security just walked by. So if you're wondering where he is with that amazing giant plant behind him, he is at the
This
airport.
is a traditional North Carolinian ficus. I have no idea. Yes, I'm in North Carolina for my brother's bachelor party. I'm heading to the house right after this. So I figured, why not have an airport Zoom? It'll be fun.
But, well, thank you for
Um,
being here with
I,
us.
I have to talk about the title again, real quick, though. They hyped it up as a civil war. It's over now. I don't even think it's gonna keep playing on possibly. What happened with the whole thing about Alyssa 2 weeks ago? Oh, everyone's gonna be gunning for Alyssa now that she went after X. It's all week to week. It's all about who you get matched up with. Who knows if Tyson and Sarah will ever even hatch this thing out? And our conspiracy of Tyson possibly being with Sarah this week, which is what I think we all wanted to happen, didn't happen. But she gets teamed up with Ben. Maybe that could be something. That could be something they purposely put them together to probably. They hope that they would win and then try to get back at Tyson together. That's what they wanted. I think they did it on purpose. There's my conspiracy. It didn't work out that way. Obviously, they didn't win the challenge today, but something to think about. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. They did try their best to try to get Sarah and Ben in a position of power in the house, but Sarah and Ben were the third worst team to finish.
Oh yeah, they weren't even in the top. Yeah,
Yeah.
they
Well, I
weren't even
mean,
close.
outside of a DQ, outside of a quit, they were the poorest team to actually complete the challenge. They were the only team that completed but had to do it twice because they failed the math problem the first time around. But I do want to talk about getting into the house and the Civil War and the Tyson and the Survivor drama. Okay, Tyson is amazing, right? But I also feel like he's a walking he's a walking contradiction. Um, because when we enter the house, he's saying, listen, of course I'm never giving anyone permission to throw me in, but if I go in, that's it. I have to compete in the elimination. And if you can't handle that, then don't go on these games. And then later on, in the episode, he's saying, if someone were to throw me in, I would sabotage my entire game. I would sabotage me winning the money, me competing on the World USA or whatever World Challenge Championship, just to gun after the person who threw me in, just out of spite. So it was like, wait, so then you could understand why Sarah and Ben are mad at you, though, because you'd be mad at the same thing.
So I wrote that down as well. The first time he says what he says that in front of everybody to kind of almost redeem himself or make his decision to put Sarah in not feel as bad. The second time he talks was like, oh, I'd sacrifice anything. I don't even need the money. I'll just go after that person. He says that in a confessional. So is that his truth, or is what he's saying to people the truth? I think his confessional is more what he's about versus what he's saying as kind of just word vomit to the people to make them feel better and to hopefully not put him on the block. Is what he's saying to the people for that reason. So I totally saw exactly what you saw.
I think it's
with
an
him,
example.
he said two different things in the same damn episode. So it's interesting.
Right, exactly. And I think it's kind of an example, and we've seen it with so many people in our lives, that people talk until they're in that position. So he's talking like, well, of course, if I was put into elimination, I wouldn't cause a hissy fit and I wouldn't hold spite against that person. I would just compete because that's the nature of the game. And we all feel that way until you are on the chopping block, until somebody is coming for you. And then it's like, forget it. My eyes are on you. I want vengeance over everything. So it's just like, I don't know. Don't puff your chest then unless you've been there, Tyson. And now that you may have been there on this episode, you're realizing it's not the best place to be in. And you do start to hold resentment towards those people.
People speak the truth in confessionals, not so much when you're looking someone in the eye on these shows. So, yeah. I mean, look at Big Brother. I mean, we can relate it to Big Brother. I mean, everything they say in the confessional, they're all hyped up and stuff. And then all of a sudden they're in front of people and they're so strategic with their words. It's interesting. That's for sure.
Yeah. Another reason I loved the elimination is, again, Justine and her performance. And I do feel that Enzo and Justine fought really hard. And again, I'm heartbroken for Derek because I do love him and I enjoyed Shannon too. Again, this season, I think it's because we haven't seen these people over years and years and we haven't built up these biases against them. I'm enjoying everybody. So every time somebody goes home, I'm like not quite ready for them to leave yet. So I always feel conflicted on who to root for. But in this one, I was rooting for Justine and Enzo, just because I like both of them more than I like both of Derek and Shannon. I'm definitely team Derek, but was more Justine and Enzo. And then Shannon was lower for me.
Yeah, Enzo doesn't do it for me. I don't know what it is. I can't. You just love him so much. I just can't figure it out. I thought like you have to at least try that rope swing today. I thought that was a really that was sad. I mean, I know people are afraid of heights. I mean, we can say whatever we say, but you're on the challenge, okay? This is like a once in a lifetime opportunity to prove yourself to the world. I understand you have your phobias. I understand you're worried about stuff, but you're on a reality show, which is going to require you to do things out of your comfort zone. So God damn it, you do it. So that's why I can't. Yeah. Nothing. And even Leo, we can talk about Leo. He overcame his fears. He actually went and did it. So it's like every week I'm like, I'm liking Leo more and more because of what he's proving himself. I mean, think about the elimination the other week. He's kicking ass there too.
Yeah, exactly. That was a really bad look for Enzo. And I was really mad at him because he's
making you look bad. He's making you look bad.
Enzo, no, because he made my girl Justine vulnerable. And I'm thinking, Enzo, you're throwing Justine into her second elimination and it's your fault. Like, you're playing with a teammate. You can't just play for yourself. If you want to quit on yourself and not do something, you handle that on a different day when it's a personal elimination. But you have someone else playing with you and you can't make them vulnerable to also going into elimination. So yeah, like, let's suck it up and do it. But again, we're talking from the couch. So maybe when we're up there, are we going to pull a Tyson? And now we're on our high horse saying, you do it. And then when we go and do it, we're like, no, I can't, I quit.
Well, that's why they're on the show and we're not. They're supposed to be completing these tasks. I mean, I feel if I was there, I would definitely have done it. Like, you don't want to look, it's national TV. You want to try your best. You have everybody watching you. It's not MTV. This is CBS. This is even a bigger audience. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Now Justine, she went across, but then she couldn't make it. She went back. So neither of them made it onto the platform. Is that right?
I thought Justine did make it. Yeah, she made it. She swung the rope.
I thought, yeah, but and then she couldn't make it. I think she just went back. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Whatever. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't think that they were ever able to get to the point where they were even tallying up their symbols and their points, because Justine's waiting on the platform and Enzo has to make it to the platform. So yeah, she never made it to like the crate, I think, or the container, right? She's on like that middle platform. Um, let's go over, some things from when we enter the house after the elimination.
Are
I
you
kind
going to
of
talk vignettes right now? Oh, this is
I'm
fantastic.
talking some vignettes because I want to talk about this Cash and Sarah conversation and see how you feel about Cash approaching Sarah with tears in her
And
eyes,
tattling, you mean? Being a tattletale?
tattling, and also I wonder if she is manipulating the situation. Again, we only see what we see. But from my perspective, watching last week's episode, I thought Cash was totally all in on Sarah and Leo. And she was pushing for Sarah and Leo to go into elimination so that she could avoid having Leo as a partner. It seemed like she really wanted that
That
decision.
was her reasoning. That was her main reasoning. She's like, I see Leo every week performing badly. I don't want to ever have to. I haven't been partners with him yet. If I get rid of him this week, I never have to be partners with him. And now she's singing a little different tune this week. I don't.
Yeah,
Go
exactly.
on.
So
Y'all
that's
love
what
Cash
was
more than me. I got.
interesting, was because my interpretation from last week was that Cash was strong arming Tyson a little bit more into that position than Tyson was Cash. I thought Tyson took the bait and Kayla got in his ear, and Kayla was saying, Ben is gunning for you and he's your survivor person. So now Tyson's thinking, let me weaken Ben's game. Um, but yeah, I didn't think that Tyson was maybe as forceful at like putting Leo and Sarah in as Cash was. But I thought it was interesting that she was able to cry about that and have emotion when talking to Sarah about it.
She's doing a little acting. That's what I think she's doing, and it is what
Do
it
you
is.
think
And
so? That's what
um,
I'm wondering, like if that's
is she is
genuine
she
or not.
is she covering her ass a little bit to make it seem like does she even have to? Because Sarah seemed to have all the hate onto Tyson for doing this to her, and Cash should have maybe just laid low. Why even bring it up? But maybe she just wanted to double cover her ass and say, "Look, you got to be mad at Tyson, not me. Let me tell you some facts about what happened, what really happened, so you are team cachet and you just keep. But she was already going after Tyson, so it's like I don't know. It was again to me. This episode to me was very cut and paste. It just went all through the motions. It just went through the motions. It wasn't trying anything different. It wasn't trying anything like crazy. It wasn't showing us any like ridiculous footage or something. I mean, the fall that Kira had was pretty interesting. Like that was pretty crazy. But I
Yeah,
mean, just
it was.
overall, it went through the motions to me. The episode, but you loved it because Enzo was the star. So there you go.
Well, I loved it because the elimination, and it was exciting for me and it made me very engaged in what was happening on screen. But I do feel as though we're really, really missing the reality TV
Oh yeah,
drama element of this. And again, it's CBS, so I don't think we're ever going to get it on this show,
right.
but we really miss the MTV part of this.
And you
And
know what? I think 38. I think season 38 will have a lot of the reality stuff that we are missing on this show for sure. I mean, just with Jordan and Tori being on the season alone, I mean, come on, that's got to bring some drama. And Bananas is back, right? Supposed to.
yeah,
So we should get extracurricular activity on season 38. I have a bad feeling, and it is what it is. We're not going to get anything on the CBS. It's going to be this is how it's going to be every week, and that's why it felt so cut and paste to me. Like, yeah, put it together, talk a little bit of strategy in between. At least it's not an hour and a half. I guess that's all I can say about it. At least it's only an hour. It flies by, so that's good.
yeah,
So especially if they're not going to do any extra fun stuff.
it's really game focused. And for me, that's why I'm most interested in the actual challenges and the eliminations. I hardly need a lot of the stuff that's happening inside the house.
I know.
I mean, we see a little bit again, we have the vignette with Sarah and Cash. We have David and Enzo talking
Yeah,
about how they basically just don't lose. We don't gotta win, just don't lose. And I love it. Again, they're just see, I like Zoe because he knows who he is and he's there kind of more for fun. He's obviously not the guy that is Mr. Competition. And we do need some of those in the mix, you know?
but didn't it? At one point tonight, did he say, "I'll do anything for my family. I'll do anything for them. I'll
Cut
win
to
this whole thing."
immediately doesn't do what he needs to do in the challenge.
Just saying that happened. It was,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
But
fine.
again, what you're saying about the format and the content, it does feel dry, you know? So some of these like vignettes and the house stuff, I'm just kind of like getting through and I'm like, okay, where's the next beat? Like when is something exciting going to happen? But thankfully the challenges are really good and the eliminations are really good. So the competition in and of itself is exciting.
Yeah, I mean, the overall daily challenge, it had some good moments. It had Leo conquering his fears. It had Enzo obviously struggling. It had Kira with that huge fall, and supposedly she was really sick. It had, so the challenge of the day had all the elements that we look for when we want to watch a challenge. Had some drama in it. That's what we want. The only thing it didn't have was, maybe some people fighting a little bit more on the sideline or yelling or getting a little argument that they would show on MTV. They'd show those little fights. I don't know if the fights actually happened, but that was the only thing missing from it. Pretty good challenge though, overall.
Yeah, so that's the question about the drama is would you prefer just to be game oriented like the CBS show as long as it's authentic to what's really going on in the house or these more recent years of the MTV show where there's drama, but it kind of just feels like they're fighting over someone's stupid pizza that's going in the oven. It feels all fake. It feels all like manufactured for reality TV, or it just feels like over the top. So, yes, we want the drama, but we're also not easy to please. So, make it good and make it feel real and entertaining like it did in the past, because the last like 3 seasons have not really been it either.
I was gonna say everything you just said. I'm like, I don't want any of that on the show. Can we just get back to the? Why can't they just go way back and give me both? But yeah, it's like they're trying to do one or the other at this point. Do you want crappy fight scenes or you just want all serious competition? I'm like, can you like mix those together but make the drama like real? We'll see. 38. I'm telling you, 38 could be my jam. It really could. Jenny, you're not excited for what
Listen,
the
I just
people?
want you, as your friend, I just want you to go in with
No,
reasonable
I
expectation.
raised them. They're too
Don't
high.
go in too high. That's all I'm saying. Let yourself
Too
enjoy it.
late.
Don't expect too much.
I know. I feel like it's too late. Oh, by the way, I wrote down Kiki was mentioned again. I
Of
thought that was, we had talked
course.
about that. Of course, they mentioned Kiki. I thought it was kind of funny what he said about her. That was, and David wins. I thought that was this underdog guy, him and Leo, these huge underdogs all season, are both starting to win a good amount too. So
He
go
did
David.
it.
I'm not a fan of him still. Like he doesn't really, he's very boring to me, but at least he's winning now. So that's something he's adding to his profile.
He
A
did it.
boring winner
He's
instead of
finding
just
his
boring.
mojo. And Desi kicks ass too. And I'm
I
really
like,
happy.
and I still like her a lot. Like I've liked her this whole time, and I still get to be on the Desi bandwagon, which is great.
Yeah. And I'm so happy that they won because they changed the hierarchy in the house. It's so nice to see a different team in a position of power other than like someone who's aligned with Tyson or someone who's aligned with Angela who have been running the game. This is a completely fresh set of faces who are in power. So I was so happy that they won because I was thinking it was going to be a close call with some of the other teams like Derek and Shannon, and how crazy that they were the ones thrown into elimination when they were pretty close to winning the challenge of the day.
Yeah, so they weren't in the top three though,
No, they weren't
at
in the
least.
top three. You're right. So
Yeah,
remind us who's in the top three.
Desi and David, Danny, aka Kiki's guy,
Right.
and Alyssa. Alyssa, I like Alyssa still. This is performing, and Angela and Dominic were in the
Yeah.
top
So
three.
Angela and Dom are so
Yeah,
close from stealing away from us a new power team. Uh, Good for Alyssa and Danny. And I also think that Danny was really instrumental in the math portion of this, which I was like, okay, Danny, no jock stereotypes here. I love it. I love that you're good at math too. He's not a one trick pony. He's not just muscles and an ex Cowboys player. He can do math too.
yeah.
But the
I
way
mean,
that, sorry, go
go
ahead.
on. No, you go. You go.
The way that the challenge was edited did make it seem like everybody finished fairly quickly. You know, we don't have a
Correct.
timer, so it's like Kylan and Cachet get it, Derek and Shannon get it. Everyone's just like bing, 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 except for the two teams that don't, and that is Enzo quitting and Kira DQing. But also, I mean, kind of quitting because she can't get back up there, but she did try. She did really try, even though that she was really sick and hurt.
Yeah, yeah. I want to know how sick she was. I did. I wanted her to try again. I did. I think it was more of the fear of falling the way that she did again. That must have, I mean, that was a really bad fall. I wouldn't want to fall into the water like that. It doesn't feel good. I've done it before. And so I understand the concept of her not wanting to try that again. I would have liked to see her. I'm still on Team Kira, though. I think she's great.
Yeah, me too. And that's
We liked her next on the beach enough, too.
yeah, because sometimes you just really get sick. Like we forget about what if you come down with something. She's been throwing up all night. That sucks.
Right.
She doesn't want to go through that. No one wants to go through that and not
Right.
be in their best shape and tip top shape to play in these games. I
Yeah.
wonder do they want to weigh in? Do you want
Did
to
I
see
get their opinion on what's going on in the show?
what do they think?
Did you watch the challenge? Yeah. I'm just kidding. All right. The other thing is I thought it was funny. Desi and David literally considered everybody to put into the elimination. I thought it was so like every single person they went through and they talked about. I was like, oh, I have literally no idea who they're going to pick at this point because they mentioned every other team. So like MTV didn't even give us like a shot of who. Did you have any idea that it was going to be Derek and Shannon?
I mean, you have a little bit of an inclination because Shannon is hurt, and they show the vignette with Derek and Shannon, which actually wasn't a vignette that I enjoyed because it was kind of funny. Them just saying, like, let's just go in there, put workout clothes on, just stretch it
Yeah.
out. We're going to make it seem like, we're working out together and you're really fit and you're fine and your hamstring's fine. So we see that. But honestly, I thought that they might take a shot at Tyson, and I'm kind of surprised that they.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So what do you think about that?
Well, I mean, who was Tyson's partner this week? It was
It was Kira.
Oh, it was Kira because she's sick. Yeah. Why not take a shot at Tyson, especially when he has to rely? Kira would not have been able to carry those barrels that sick. That's huge. It could have gone. Now, honestly, Tyson's the best part of this damn show. Let's just be real. For me, he is. I think that he's the best competitor. He's very strategic, but he also wears his heart on his sleeve. So he makes kind of bad decisions that can be exciting. So to me, Tyson's the best character. So I didn't want to see him go into elimination because I'm like, he's going to have a crutch. He's going to have a crutch if he goes in this week. So thank God they didn't put him in. But I like Derek and Shannon a lot. So super disappointed. But whatever. It is. We'll never see him again. It's fine.
I mean, the reasoning is there because you do have to be partners with people. And David has the possibility of being partnered with somebody who has a hamstring injury, And Kira, she's sick, so she can recover. But Shannon, it might be harder, and she's making it riskier in your game because if you're partnered with her the following week, you could lose just based off of her injury, depending on what the game is. However, I do think they should have taken a shot at Tyson. I mean, why the hell wouldn't they?
They, with having Kira as his crutch, you're 100% right. They should have. But, I mean, are they, Desi and David, are they even aligned with Tyson at all? Do we even think that they are?
No.
So maybe they really should have. Why not piss him off? Who cares? Doesn't Tyson already have enough people to go after, like Sarah and Ben, who are still in the game? Yeah, Desi, David, why not be the third and fourth person on his list of people he's going to try to go after and sacrifice everything for? And I don't care if I win the money. I'm just going to go home and go after you. Well, Tyson, good luck going after 4 different people that aren't even going to be teamed up now. They're going to be with 4 different, you have 8 different people now next week because that damn algorithm thing's going to put them all with different people. You're not going to be able to go after all of them. That's why Alyssa's still in the game. These people that think, oh, Alyssa made a bad move going after Big Brother. Who's coming after Alyssa? She hasn't been mentioned the last 4 weeks or 3 weeks after her decision. So,
yeah.
I don't know.
It would have only been X if he had come back, but it worked for her. And Big Brother, I feel like Big Brother is working like in smaller cliques. Like Derek and Alyssa were number 1 throughout the game. Derek is, I don't know if he's as close with Kyland as Alyssa maybe is, but then David and Enzo are from a different season of Big Brother. Angela, I don't think Angela even needs to really worry because she's so good. So Big Brother isn't really as tight. So getting
and see, that's what I was
as crazy as I thought. Yeah.
And that's why I was so confused why people were so like upset at Alyssa for making the move she made. I was like, all these they're from the same show. They're not even from the same season. They know each other. Like, oh, that person was on the same show
X and Alyssa
2 years ago.
X and Alyssa were the same.
Yeah, I know. Right, but they're not, like you just said, though, they're not all from the same season of Big Brother 23 is my point. So like, why do they all have to be best friends and team up? Who cares? It's a name of a show. If you'd rather work with someone on Survivor you think's a better competitor, come on, make a move or be stealthy like in Big Brother and do it behind their back and not tell anybody. But the algorithms really trying to separate those clicks for sure. You got to work with someone different every week and rely on them. It's crazy.
Yeah. I think Desi's reasoning was that she didn't want to be a part of any of this Survivor drama mess. And I think her reasoning is just like, I won. I'm not going to throw in another winner who's been winning week after week. I think she more so wants maybe Sarah and Ben to take that shot at Tyson because they already have all of those feathers ruffled. But I think she wanted to stay out of the drama. But I kind of feel like it was a good opportunity to take out someone really good in the game.
Yeah, I know. And Tyson would have worked his butt off. Tyson's got great endurance. He would not have given up on those tires. But like we just said, Kira, super sick. I don't know how much healthier she would have got it two days later. So
yeah, and it had me thinking. They pick the team when they get to the arena, not knowing what the instructions of the game are. They can see the game, but they still don't know what's going to happen. And it's been that way forever. And I'm wondering would it be interesting if they allowed the power couple to decide what team goes into the arena after hearing the instructions of the game? Or would that just be weird?
No, I mean, they're basically already seen the game. They saw a bunch of tires and they saw a blank platform. What do they think they're going to have to do? It's a classic moving things from side to side. They've done it with different objects before. But yeah, it would be doubly interesting if they got to hear the exact directions. Maybe some season they will do that to add some extra, I don't know, strategy to it or just extra.
I think it would be interesting
power couple.
It's almost more of a call out. I feel like if you can hear the instructions and hear everything, then the team getting thrown
you're
in.
Too weak to do this.
Exactly. I think that would be kind of interesting, and maybe they should try that on like a few of the eliminations, or make it a trend for one of the seasons. You know what I mean? How they try out different things. I wonder if they can hear the game and then pluck people based off of what they think they're good at. I don't know. It could be interesting. Maybe it's weird, but just a thought.
Did you find the spelling bee thing as unnecessary as I did, or was that just me thinking, what a waste of time? Can we just get to like TJ's like, well, I can't just let you move tires. I got to give you a spelling bee first. I thought it was lame, but tell me, please, your thoughts.
Here's my conspiracy theory is as follows. I think that they were trying to give somewhat of an equalizer to Shannon and Derek because Shannon's hamstring was hurt. And I think that they have more confidence maybe in Derek being able to be master speller versus Enzo and Justine, possibly. I don't know. But Enzo, too bad. He killed it.
That's you know what? That is a great conspiracy. I love that because I started conspiracies on the show. We're all just adding them in now. Pam had one from Big Brother. If you want to check that on our Patreon, which is really good. It's over on our Patreon. She has a great Big Brother conspiracy. But anyways, yeah, I mean, that's a great one. I love that conspiracy because it totally did. In theory, they still won, which is crazy too. But it came down. It looked, the editing might have played a trick on me, but it looked like it came down to the numbers. It was very close.
Listen, I don't think it was tricky editing because you can see the wide shot. I think it came down. Everyone is screaming. It comes down to 2 tires Justine and Enzo have to go get. Derek and Shannon are done. They have all their tires, but they did such a horrendous job stacking them that I can't believe that it's restacking them eats away at their time and makes them lose. Because they had it. They had this game. And I thought for sure that this was, again, the manipulative editing getting me excited for Enzo and Justine. I'm like, Enzo and Justine are just going to lose. Derek and Shannon have all their tires. It's going to take them 5 seconds to pile them. But they didn't. And I think it was the element of surprise and really not knowing who was going to win that made me so excited about this episode.
And I know I'm watching from my couch, AKA the airport, this episode. But, like, you see how the tires are stacked on one side. Why wouldn't you I don't think I would miss this. Why wouldn't you try to replicate how they're perfectly stacked, knowing the same size platforms on the other side, and don't make up your own thing? Just, okay, stack that way. I should probably stack them around the same so they fit properly. And TJ made it very clear they all need to be on the platform. So, I don't know. I know you said that it's in the moment they could miss it. Maybe that's what happened, obviously. But I just don't think I would have missed that detail because it's so precise how those tires fit on that platform. There was not a lot of wiggle room. So, yeah.
Yeah. Again, I think in moments of adrenaline, you are susceptible to making a lot of bonehead mistakes, right?
Yeah.
You're focused on one element of the game, and that's being as fast as you can, back and forth, back and forth. You're not thinking about the strategy of stacking the tires. And Enzo and Justine just did wonderfully because of that, because they have that strategy, and it's just those tiny little nuances that it comes down to, all those little things.
And like we're watching from home, right? We're not thinking strategy. We're just like, okay, let's see if it's a good elimination.
Enjoy
I
ourselves.
I want to assume if I was there on the show, I'm not just be like, oh, I'm just gonna have fun with this. I'd be like thinking at every moment, like, I'm gonna go home if I don't do this properly. But when I'm on my couch, I'm gonna try next week. When I get to the elimination and I'm watching from my couch, I'm gonna try to think of how strategically to do this. I never think of that. I just want to enjoy the episode. But I'm gonna try to think a little more strategically and think of all the options so that I can talk about it more on the show. As far as would I have actually thought of that? So.
Yeah. It's just tough because you can definitely overthink and overplay too. And sometimes you think you're going to have this strategy and you go in and you're like, oh, I've been wasting time on this.
Yeah.
Or I thought this was going to help. It actually made it worse. So it's intricate. And that's the scary part.
And here's the other thing. I do think that they're privy to more information than we are at home. I know that the producers go right up to them. We don't see this, obviously. The producers come and say, hey, so your ideas, you have to stack all of them. They have to all be, they're telling them over and over again, they have to have all the tires on. They can't be any on the ground. So they're being told multiple times. So if you're being told multiple times, make sure they're perfectly placed on the other side so they don't fall, because you can only win if they're all perfect. Why wouldn't you think, okay, placement might be a huge key here in order for me to win this elimination? That's all, like we're not, and we just get, all right, move the tires and go. That's all we see. We don't see the whole behind the scenes stuff.
And Derek is really smart too. So I'm sure he's kicking himself in the ass for not thinking of this, because he's said in the past that he's been disappointed about his showing on Big Brother, just because he's not proud of maybe his strategy or the way he played. So I'm sure that he's hard on himself, I gather. So I'm sure.
And the 5-tire lead, that's a huge lead, because especially when those tires are all the way at the bottom, shorter people cannot lift them over that rung very easily, as we saw with Shannon.
And
she's so short, by the way.
Huh?
She's so short.
Oh, I really like her. And
I do too.
She really had fight. She was struggling, justifiably so. A hamstring injury going back and forth all night. That's a tiring elimination. Ew, I said tiring, pun, but it is really tiring. Ew, I hate that. That was not on purpose. I promise. How about I say this? That was an exhausting elimination, but now I'm sounding like I'm saying exhaust of a car. Anyway, Derek and Shannon, they were no match for Enzo because he's an insurance adjuster for cars. So they should have known.
Right.
He's prepared for this.
Shannon could get a handle.
Tires.
If only Shannon could get a handle on the situation. Handle, car, tires. There you go. There's one more for you.
Good.
Okay.
That is good.
But that's because it was the third one. Where you go down with the jokes. That's what happens. You get the best one, then you start trying to create more.
Is that what happens? Let me ask Giovanni. I'm going to call Giovanni up. He's the funniest person to ever be on TV.
I used a Christmas card to make notes, by the way. That was found in my luggage.
Dan, do you have any other thoughts? Because we should get you going to your brother's bachelor party. You should leave the airport and go to the lake. Lake boy. Surprised to no one. They're going to a lake for his brother's bachelor party.
I'll be on a lake for the next 3 days. That about sums up all the information that I have on this episode. I have no other conspiracies until hopefully next week when some more happen when we watch. But you should definitely check out our Patreon for Big Brother. And then I think I added something called a super thanks. So if you can click a super thanks on our YouTube now and like donate $1 maybe or something. I'm not sure how it works, but yeah. So there you go. That's what it's called, the super thanks. It just came out in 2021.
I don't know if I like that. You guys don't have to give us $1.
I didn't say you can give us $10 then. Yeah, that's fine. No,
yeah, actually, you can give us 100.
Yeah, come on. No, but I just thought I'd add it just for fun. Why not? See if anybody wants to give us super thanks.
Guys, you may also have noticed that we've started getting advertisements on our YouTube channel, which is insane and weird and crazy and funny. But thank you all for tuning in every week and watching us and engaging with us in the comments. I feel like we know you, you know us by now. So this is great. Let's keep it going. So thanks.
And I tried to stir the pot last episode to get more people commenting, and it worked a little bit. We got some more comments. I stirred the pot a little bit more. I didn't quite stir the pot as much today, but still, please comment and think of something to go against me on. that would be fantastic. Thank you so much.
We missed Pam today, but she'll be back with us next week. We hope. We don't know. She hasn't woken up yet, I guess. We honestly have no idea where she is.
She's on East Coast time, so she's probably still sleeping.
I
Yes.
can't believe she's still sleeping. It's 10 a.m.
This might be the only time we're all on East Coast time, by the way, so we should really relish in this.
Yep. All right. Out you go with the garbage that just rolled by. Have fun at your brother's bachelor party. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Till next time.